Oh, we're so sorry, but we are back, and I believe that we've gotten rid of all the gremlins in the system. Now, our guest, if you're just joining us, is Mr. Tunde Imolehin. He's an architect, environmentalist, and sustainability expert. Thank you very much, Tunde, for coming on the program. Appreciate you. We're starting again. Because we believe everything is fine now. So I asked you the first time around, can ask it again. Just see us through you being an environmentalist and all, the environmental aspect of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda, sustainable, health of the environment. That's something we don't hear about very often locally.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was saying something about where my location is so that people can understand. I'm in Ipele.
Oh, you're in the village. Aha, the location. You're not in our studio.
It's not a village. It's not a village. Ipele is not a village.
Oh, sorry. I misread Ipele. I thought you said I'm in my village. But I just got corrected. No, you are in Ipele.
Yeah. Yes, Ipele, yes. I'm from Ipele. I'm at home. I'm with my people, and they're very happy to see me.
Indeed.
And I'm talking to you right now, and everybody's watching you, Mr. Florian. Election is about 48 hours time, and we are ready. But let me just quickly establish a protocol that would enable your viewers to appreciate and understand the context in which we are. I remember when I was about to board a flight some years ago, an elder statesman actually told me and made me cry. I sobbed so badly, I was embarrassed. When he told me that, Tunde Imolehin, do you know that you taught me how to bag my waist and everything through your programs and everything. And then I recall that, yes, the first TV program, arguably the first program on environment in Nigeria was started through God, through me. And I want to thank God for that. And It was a time that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu wanted to contest for the governorship of Lagos State. And I actually worked with him. I was part and parcel of his think tank. I was set up to, bring about a vision that has now been reckoned universally, globally, as a very sustainable one. Because you can't achieve stability or you can't achieve sustainability without stability. And what has marked that regime out is sustainability. Before then, I'd like to let you understand the fact that where I'm coming from, so that people can understand the reason why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking, despite the fact that I'm a very partisan fellow. I'm a professional in, you know me very well. I've been on your program, and it's something that I need Nigerians to know right now, because like Yorubas, we say, Atinubu is about us right now. And we are going to give somebody a job on Saturday. It's a job interview, and we need to understand how it is going to be. Because you don't just give a neophyte a job that is so very, very, very important as presidency of the country, of the largest country in Africa, and of course, the biggest black nation in the world. It's just somebody who doesn't have any track record, who doesn't have any experience, who doesn't have anything, to show. So if somebody is actually looking for employment, the first thing you look for is pedigree, is integrity, is experience. And of course, you want to be sure that this is somebody that can actually, do the job with so much, passion, capacity. And looking at everyone that has actually picked the form to contest for the position of the presidency of Nigeria. Apart from the fact that he's my leader, he's my national leader, he's somebody that I've worked with. I run a program, People and Environment on AIT first, and I work with Lagos State at that point. And virtually everybody in his cabinet actually came on my program. It was a live program, and it was quite popular. Younger generation might not be able to connect to that kind of program, but you started it. And I'm very happy that virtually every medium in Nigeria right now talks about environment, talks about sustainability, talks about sustainable development agenda. But in Nigeria, the green growth in Nigeria has not been so thorough. Green growth enables you to plan for the future without compromising the present. I mean, plan for the present without compromising the future, so to speak. And it also enables you to think, globally and act locally. If there is any government at all successively that actually worked that man, it is the government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he was so lucky.
Okay, one moment, Tunde, I beg your pardon. From what you've just said, you're implying, at least I'm getting from what you are saying, that the green growth issue goes beyond agriculture. People might want to think of green growth, maybe because they remember the Green Revolution, so they might want to, but you're saying that even if it includes that, it is more than that. Am I correct?
You're right. It's all encompassing. It's sustainability. It's about making sure that there's peace and prosperity. It's mainstreaming environment in development issues. It's making sure that, yes, we take care of our environment, take care of our climate. We ensure that there's no poverty. Poverty level is reduced greatly. And it's also a function of how we want to treat nature. Because we're talking about low carbon emissions in Lagos. Lagos was a jungle. Yes, we all live in Lagos. We saw what Lagos was before Bola Tinubu. I'm not saying that the Jackhandles of this world did not try their best, or Mobility Johnson did not try their best. But Tinubu came to change the paradigm. And I make bold to say that because I actually work with that government to the extent that I was a member of the think tank that buffed that worked on his vision, and which we are seeing right now, which we are all proud of right now. I worked on the 3 committees. I was actually meant to work on the housing committee, but I worked on the housing committee. I was also detailed to work on the environment and lands committee. And I work with the likes of Radu Fashola, SAN, and
So today, I beg your pardon. I'm curious. I'm curious to know what you were able to do. As part of the you've just told us you're part of the think tank, and you had a particular interest in environmental and development issues. So what were you able to do along with your colleagues under that particular Asiwaju administration that came out of that think tank that Lagos is benefiting from today? Because people are saying that, look, Lagos is there for all to see as part of, if you're looking, if anybody is interested in what can he do, everybody is pointing that, love him or hate him, you can't deny Lagos.
You cannot deny Lagos. 5th largest economy in Africa, you cannot. You must be speaking from a position of lack of knowledge to say that Lagos does not count in the committee of subnationals in the world that have actually done so very well. It's a template. Let me start. Lai Mohammed became the chief of staff. He was the first. I'm not saying that we don't have chief of staff in the military formal information, but politically, Lai Mohammed was the first. Adele Alake was the first commissioner for information and strategy. And today, every state has that. LASMA came, LASEPA came. I can name so many that other states have. And the senior special assistant on environment and waste management in Abuja, in FCT, by the grace of my minister and by the grace of God. And we still learn from Lagos. Everybody goes to Lagos, and the products of Lagos are everywhere. Ola Resoya is in Ogun State. He's the commissioner for environment. I mean, we have to say this. We have to speak up.
Yeah, I hear you, Tunde. This is fascinating stuff. This is fascinating stuff, but I was looking for some specifics.
No, let me go on. I'm building. Try to understand me. You see, the environment that Bola Tinubu created made it possible for people, technocrats, to join him in building Lagos. Whether you are Igbo, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Hausa, we were there at the Sheraton Hotel. I flew in from South Africa. It was made possible by Lai Mohammed, who invited me on behalf of government to come around because of my pedigree. And I came around and I saw a lot of people, I don't want to mention their names. They are big guys today in their whether in the private sector or in the public sector. He has made them. And that makes, so when you are hiring a president, somebody who has actually picked form twice in his life for political positions, first to become a governor and he won, Second, in 1992, but though briefly, the Third Republic, he became a senator. And he was made a senator, not only a senator, but he was in charge of appropriations. You can imagine. And now the third time he's seeking to rule the country, and people are, oh my God. You see, we need to tell the story. You know, the man that I approached that, yes, I wanted to run through Akim Badiabiamila. And I said, I wanted to run, I wanted to organize Save the Bar Beach. And he said, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about what you envisioned. And by the time we had it, we set a report that was, among others, used to achieve what we are achieving today. Because not only was a campaign, it was also a summit. It was also a summit to galvanize people. By that time, my program was the most important program on environment, and everybody tuned into it. And I was the first to reckon in terms of environmental advocacy.
I remember.
He realized that, and he worked with me.
I remember that program well.
Yes, he agreed to work with me, and that is because of his large-heartedness. I want this man to replicate all he has done in Lagos at the center, and he actually has an ambition to make sure that happens. And for those of us who actually know, we won't allow this opportunity to slip. Not, at the expense of anybody, not do or die, but of course, we are continuing to talk about make people to see reason with us, and that's why I was talking about I started a podcast which has to do with Asiwaju Shetima presidency. As far as sustainability is concerned, I've been running. I think I had about 4 editions. I have 2 to go before INEC comes down on campaigns today. So what we are talking about is that, okay, look at that. After they saved the Bar Beach, I went to South Africa, I came back, I gave a report. There was a fight between. I confronted Anthony Alenin of blessed memory about this issue. It was a political, I wanted to politicize this. I said, you don't politicize nature. You don't. So many properties were going to go.
Tunde, on that point,
no, Lagos cannot go under. It's a coastal state.
Tunde, let's talk a bit. Let's talk a bit about what you've just spoken. You just mentioned there the environmental issue at the Bar Beach on Victoria Island in Lagos, and how that, in fact, as I remember it, it was Babatunde Raji Fashola's time, right? That if my memory serves me well now, that all the plannings, they finally could get to it, and I think it was at that time, with Raji Fashola as governor, that flooding of Victoria Island, damaging property, at least nobody has heard about any surge, any Bar Beach surge anymore. So would you like to talk a bit about that, because that took vision, and it's one of the landmarks of Lagos, where there used to be floodings, no more floodings.
Yes. The people who work at NTA, some of them are your friends. Anytime there was any rainfall, they had to go home, ask them. I used to run my program on NTA in 1994, so I know what I'm talking about. IMB was there, the skyline of that area. Government houses in that place. Everybody had already parked. They wanted to go. They wanted to leave Lagos. They wanted to relocate.
Yeah, but it was such an intractable problem. The point I'm making is that it had a solution had eluded many before Asiwaju and his think tank came along.
That's what I'm saying, because Asiwaju listened. He investigated. He was a thorough person. He wanted to find out whether it was technically possible. He not only went to Amsterdam, he went everywhere. He went to South Africa where others had done it, because the first time we wanted to be sure that what we were fighting was not a political war, but a war based on common sense and integrity, common sense and knowledge.
He worked tirelessly on it. Tunde, let me bring in Temitokwe. Yes. Temitokwe has called in. Temitokwe is a viewer. She is it a he or a she? Good morning, Temitokwe. Temitokwe is not there. Or are you? Temitokwe is calling in from where?
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning. Is that Temitokwe? Okay, finally.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. You finally remembered you made a call. Oh, yeah. We're waiting. Please go ahead.
From Akowonjo.
From Akowonjo. Good morning to you, Temitokwe from Akowonjo. Go ahead, please. Did you have a question for Mr. Tunde Imolehin, or did you just have an observation that you want to make?
Well done, Uncle Yori. Thanks for the advocacy on the green growth and sustainable energy.
Please continue.
Is just to corroborate and appreciate the effort of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
One from the green initiatives, saving the Atlantic. Wasn't a tea party.
Okay.
And the Green Goat initiative for Babatunde Rajipashola, planting trees. These are initiatives that we must be sustained. And that's why you had enough depth and enormous capacity to ensure this is achieved in Nigeria. That's why in this interview he mentioned about recharging the chat. And people on social media turn to jest and laughter, and that is part of the capacity we are talking about. So thank you for doing the good work for our leader, the incoming president, by God's grace. Thank you, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much, Temitokwe. Okay then, Tunde, you just heard that. Somebody saying...
I'm very happy we have very enlightened viewers like Temitokwe. I'm very happy that we have very enlightened viewers like Temitokwe. I think the major issue, that's exactly what I'm saying. Government has to, the National Development Plan 2021 to 2025 seeks to raise about 400 trillion naira in terms of investments. And all the three tiers of the economy, local governments are to raise about 30 million or thereabout or 40. And the private sector is supposed to bring the chunk. Just like I think it's about 300 million, 290 trillion naira. So where do we get there? We have an accountant, and we have a celebrated Democrat. We have a celebrated professional, in the mode of Asiwaju Bola, Ahmed, and Tinubu, to steer the ship of progress in this country at this very critical period. And the president himself has spoken about the integrity of this man, about the unassailable credentials of this man. Yet we are still talking about other people. With due respect to the other people, I think we have to look at, the issue of sustainability. It's not about talking it. It's not about talking the talk. It's about walking the talk. What you said about my friend, the former governor of Lagos State, Rajipashola SAN, a very cerebral personality, he took it up from where Asiwaju started. It was his protege. It was his boy.
Okay.
Let me use that word.
And that's another thing about Asiwaju as a person, as a strategist. There's a continuum between these administrations. So what I'm